Word, I think I literally forgot how to do this because I haven't done this in a minute. Hello. Welcome to the realm of comics, where we talk everything comics, manga, graphic novels related. This is interesting, y'all, because this is my first video since I let go of the other channel, and it's different. My tongue is red. Yeah, super red. So this is super new to me. Like, not super new, but this is low-key kind of like different for me in the sense that I haven't done this in weeks. Like, in weeks. It's been a good like 45 days since I've recorded for this channel, and it's been a good like 3.5 weeks since I recorded for the other channel. So getting in front of a camera right now, it's new. It's different. It feels different. It feels kind of like good to be back in the groove, but also at the same time like, what am I doing? How do I do this? I feel like I need a little refresher, but I am happy that I am back with a announcement video for a readathon that I absolutely love and adore and cherish. And I think this is the point in which I wanted to start back recording, because I did need like a millisecond of time to myself. I'm prepping my kid, or I was prepping because now she started. I was prepping my kid for preschool, and that was a huge transition for us. That was a really huge transition for me, and I was shocked at how big of a transition that was for me. But now that we've kind of gotten up that hill and we're coming on the other side, this is the perfect video to start back filming. Like, that will give me my filming mojo again, and I'm so happy to announce that I will be joining Izzy and Shay for our September round of 30 and 30. So if you did not know, 30 and 30 is a readathon that these two lovely, wonderful, amazing humans started and welcomed me on board. The first couple of rounds, I just was a participant, and for a while now, y'all, I can't even remember when they officially had asked me to jump on board, but they asked me to join, and I've been so like blessed to be a part of this. I feel like so honored to be a part of this readathon and to be amongst these wonderful humans. So if you did not know, 30 and 30 typically takes place every April and September, and we you know, have this goal to read 30 volumes of manga in 30 days, which, let me go ahead and get this out of the way, because I know I have a lot of new viewers to this channel. A lot of people hop from my old channel to this channel. I'm just gonna go ahead and put this out there. Reading 30 volumes of manga in 30 days sounds easy, but let me tell ya, life. Sometimes life be lifing, and you have to pay attention to your pacing. And so it's a lot that goes into reading 30 volumes of manga in 30 days. So I always, like, this last round that we did in April, I completely was like, yeah, I completely failed. In previous versions of this that we've done, I've reached 30, sometimes beyond 30, and because I feel like I'm in a good spot in terms of like mental health, just kind of really focusing on me and my family, like, I feel like 30 volumes is going to be easy peasy lemon squeezy. So this round, Shay has created some leveled up prompts that you can do. So you have two kind of like tracks I feel like that you can take. You can do just your 30 and 30, or you can join us for the leveled up. So there are different levels that Shay has created, and I am pulling up my notes here because I do not want to get this wrong. Level 1 is you complete 5 challenges. Level 2, you complete 10 challenges. Level 3, you complete 20 challenges. And to do a complete leveled up, you will complete 30 challenges. So Shay has developed this wonderful list of prompts that you can use, and I'm not going to read all of them. I will make sure that I like post them somewhere on the screen, and I'm sure that we will all have them shared to our Instagram, so you guys can kind of check them out. But there are 40 different prompts, and they range from things like read at least 1 volume every day, read from a favorite series, don't buy any new manga for 30 days, which that's gonna be easy for me. Read a volume you're afraid to read. Write at least 5 reviews for manga you read. during the challenge. And one of the prompts also includes read a manga. Does it say read a manga? Here we go. Read a manga recommended by a host. So Shay, Izzy, and I have all chosen 5 series that we, or 5 manga in general that we have recommended. So I'm going to go over the ones that I have recommended, and there are graphics. Once again, I will put as much as I can put on the screen, but all this stuff will be shared to social media. So the 5 that I ended up recommending, and this was really hard because it's like asking who's your favorite child, and I've been reading more and more manga over the past couple of years, and some of these series I have absolutely fallen in love with, have absolutely adored. Some of them I have definitely gotten as recommendations from Shay and Izzy, and I thought that it would be cool to recommend them for y'all, for you to read as a host favorite. So one of my series is Something's Wrong With Us, and something is wrong with us, I'm sorry. Y'all, this series was recommended to me by Shay and Izzy. I actually remember when I was in my apartment before moving here, and they were like, y'all have to read it. As a matter of fact, I believe it was me, Shay, Izzy, and Bree, like on a live stream. I feel like we were all in a live stream, and they were like, y'all need to read it. And I feel like Bree and I read the first volume both digitally. I don't know, but they both put us onto it, and I just never stopped. I'm on the tail end of the series where I think I have like 2 volumes left, and those are primarily like the collected like short stories. So the premise basically is that you have a main character who was in this sweet shop with her mother. Her mother was there working, and she ends up bonding with the owner's son, and they're both really young. And then unfortunately something happens, and the owner ends up getting killed, and everyone thinks that it is the little girl's mother. And that kind of follows her throughout like her time trying to get employment, whatever. And then she ends up right back at this same shop, and the little boy who's now grown into a man, like does not realize that it is in fact her. He doesn't realize that they had already met, and so she ends up having to supposedly like marry this guy. Does not know, like he just doesn't know like anything about the dynamic of, he doesn't know anything about the previous dynamic of their relationship. He doesn't know, and so she's kind of contemplating like, should I or should I not tell him? The endings for every single one of these volumes will have your jaw on the floor. I am a very critical reviewer. You should all know this. I do not take things very lightly. So for me to say that I gave every single volume 4 or 5 stars, and I've read 16 or 17 volumes of this series, means that it's one that you should definitely pick up. The other one that I recommended was Kaiju number 8, and that's one that I had recently read back in like June, and I've only read like 1 volume of it, but literally fell in love with the first volume. Gave it 5 stars. It is definitely shonen, violent, has this kind of like paranormal element to it, where we have a main character that is fighting these creatures and ends up getting infected, sort of, and can become one of them. I think I haven't read enough of it to give you a perfect synopsis of it, but when I tell you the first volume laid that groundwork that I really appreciated and loved, artistically, storytelling, character development, 5 stars. If I read a volume 1 and give it 5 stars, I'm telling you it's a series that you need to pick up, because typically for me, some volume 1s, 3-4 stars, because of the fact that there still needs to be some development of the plot, the world itself, the characters. But this one, right out the gate, absolutely enjoyed. The third one that I recommended was Arcana of the Dawn. Dawn of the Arcana. Dawn of the Arcana, not Arcana of the Dawn. Dawn of the Arcana. Wow, it is late. But I had to recommend Dawn of the Arcana because, listen, it had to be last year, September. Was it September? It was either September or November, but I really do feel like it was September when we did 30 and 30 last. It was 1 year where we swapped because of Blackoween. So I feel like, I don't think it was last year. I really genuinely do feel like we did it in September. I read the entire series. Literally, I read the entire Dawn of the Arcana series because holy crap, it was so easy to just dive into every single volume. And this is one that is just so interesting. It's like fantasy, but it feels like it has like kind of like a historical element to it. And it's just, I don't have the words to describe it. The only thing I can say for this one is you must dive into it. I finished all 13 volumes of this in the month, read them back to back to back to back to back to back, and loved them. They were impeccable, from the character development to the storytelling to the pacing to the reveals. Everything about this, I was so invested in it and was so devastated by the end of it. Even though it was a nice conclusion, I feel like there were so many just elements that we had gotten to, and I was like, oh gosh, like I feel so much for everyone involved in all this, especially because we're dealing with a specific group of individuals that are not valued by society. They're looked down upon. They are essentially abused and taken advantage of and treated poorly. I just, like, seeing that story come full circle was just a monumental thing for me. And as a matter of fact, the mangaka of Dawn of the Arcana was my most read author of that year, because I had just, it was just so much that I loved about that. And I also ended up recommending Insomniacs After School. I'm caught up, okay? I'm caught up. I have 2 people in my life that have insomnia, and I see how much they struggle with it, and it's like hard for me as someone who doesn't have insomnia, like really truly understanding like what they're experiencing on a day-to-day and how like they don't get the rest that I get. Like I complain about the fact that like, oh, I'm tired, but for individuals who truly like have insomnia and really do not get enough sleep, I mean, we're talking averaging 3 to 4 hours a night of sleep a day, like that's something that I couldn't even imagine. And so diving into the series, I was like, okay, I wonder how like the mangaka is going to handle all of this. And we're following 2 teens who both struggle with insomnia, and it's really cute. It's cute in the sense that I feel like there's like this slice of life element where they're bonding over the fact that they both struggle with insomnia, and they decide to reignite the astronomy club that used to exist at their school, and it becomes something that the 2 of them bond over. There's like this budding like relationship. It's very much so like coming of age. It's very beautiful. The artwork is impeccable. Like I absolutely love it, especially the night scenes where the 2 of them are up while the rest of the world is sleeping, which I know for at least for one person that is in my life, I know that that's one thing that they like. It's hard for them, like, you know, you're up and everyone else is actively sleeping. Like that can be a very isolating and very lonely situation to be in. And I don't know exactly how that feels, but I can empathize with that. And so I love that these 2 characters have each other to kind of like bond with. And so those night scenes where they're doing like a lot of astronomy, they're out looking at the stars, looking at the moon, looking at the planets, they're so impeccably drawn and beautiful. And I just fell in love with the artwork. I fell in love with these 2 kids and their relationship with each other. And it's very cute. It's very like, you know, your first love. Like you're coming to the age where you start to develop romantic feelings for other people, and you're exploring that, you're feeling that for the first time. It's very reminiscent of like maybe the first time you could have possibly experienced romantic feelings. I just really, really absolutely love it. But I'm caught up with that. I believe we're at 6 volumes that have been translated. I'm not sure when the 7th volume comes out, but I really enjoy that. I should say that I read Kaiju number 8, Dawn of the Arcana, and Insomniacs After School across the Viz Media and Shonen Jump apps. So I read all 3 of those digitally. And the last one that I wanted to recommend as a host favorite is Oshinoko, which is something that I've actively talked about on this channel. I am not caught up to this. I think I'm on volume 5, if I'm not mistaken, and I think we are definitely up to volume 6 or 7 of Oshinoko. But the anime is on Disney Plus, so 9 times out of 10 I probably will be watching that and vlogging it when I start doing my 30 and 30 vlogs. But this one is really cool. I always say that you have to stick with it because the first volume is kind of weird because we are looking at what it means to be like an idol. Like, what is it like to be an idol? How does that impact the person that is an idol, and how does it impact the people around them? And so we're following a specific idol in the beginning, and she ends up pregnant with twins. And so she seeks out the help of this doctor to kind of help her through her pregnancy and her labor and delivery while keeping everything a secret because they want to maintain her image. And there's some interesting transition, like weird type of something that kind of happens, which makes the first volume it reads a little awkward. But when you get to the volumes that follow volume 1, I tell you, it is so well done, and it's really a close analysis of like idol lifestyle, like the industry, like I said, how it impacts the idol, like themselves, how it impacts people around them, and the obsession that comes with that, like the obsession with stardom, the obsession with people who are like fans of idols. It's very, very interesting and has kind of like this suspense feel to it that I wasn't necessarily expecting. So I'm really interested to dive into I think I'm on volume 5, y'all. I'm pretty sure I'm on volume 5, but I'm looking forward to diving into that one, hopefully during 30 and 30. So those are my favorites. So if you want to check any of those out, Shay and Izzy also have their favorites, but those are just 5 that I recommended that you can check out for that specific prompt. I have not come up with a TBR or anything like that. Y'all know me, like, I'm not a TBR girly because I never stick to my TBR. I always go with what I'm in the mood for. Now, with the prompts, the leveled up prompts coming, I do think that I'm going to have to structure myself a little bit, but I probably will come out with something with a TBR pile of possibilities later on this month. I won't do it right now because this video is already long, and I just wanted to give kind of like a yay, hey, we're doing 30 and 30, and I hope you all join us. Make sure you follow us all on Instagram because we do end up sharing a lot of our content on Instagram. I don't think we've necessarily talked about like reading sprints or anything like that. We'll coordinate all of that later, but this is just our general announcement. Make sure you're following all of us, and I hope that some of you are participating. If you are not interested in doing the leveled up, that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. If you only want to pick out a handful of manga, you're new to reading manga, I definitely recommend trying this out. It's a good way to kind of see what other people are into, what other people are reading, and get yourself into the groove of reading manga. I know that there are some series out there that are really popular that everybody's reading, but I think what I've always appreciated about 30 and 30, and what I definitely appreciate about Izzy and Shay, is that they're not always reading what you're going to see on Instagram or TikTok or Booktube in general. You're going to see a lot of different things from them, and I really do appreciate that because they're definitely heavy into the weeds of the manga community, and they have awesome, wonderful recommendations. So as always, y'all, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and if you want to see more content from me, click the subscribe button, hit the bell for notifications. Be on the lookout for a couple of things. One, I'm going to do a kind of like update, what's currently happening, what's currently going on video. This is going to go up on a Friday, so that video probably will go up a couple of days later, and I'll kind of talk a little bit about what's going to be happening on this channel. I just needed some time to kind of gather myself and, you know, grieve the loss of that channel, get some family stuff situated, and also be on the lookout for that TBR pile of possibilities and recommendation video. But yeah, like I said, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more content from me, click the subscribe button, hit the bell for notification. And as always, if you're looking to follow me on social media or looking for ways to support the channel, all those links will be down in the description box below, and I will be back with another video soon. I think I did okay. I think for my first time filming in like a month, I feel okay, friends. I feel like that wasn't too rough. All right, y'all. Bye.